And so it seems to me like this was a PR relationship, unfortunately. This was somebody that he met, she got pregnant, and then they were like, okay, let's try to make this work to keep the image up.
No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not doing that.
No, I
You
really
can't
do. I really, okay. That's just me. It's funny because this story Rodney actually sent to me, but I did see it. But Dak Prescott and his fiancée and the mother of his two children are calling it quits just 1 month before their wedding. And it seems as though things kind of boiled over at a joint bachelorette weekend.
Hold on. Why would you ever have your bachelor party in collaboration with your wife and her bachelorette party? That just seems like a recipe for disaster in general. Like nobody wants to do that. It's your last hurrah, bro. Get a life. Go do something with your boys elsewhere. It's crazy.
Now that is a good point, but it seems as though things are bigger than that.
There's a lot of conversations these days around prenups, and people of a high net worth, I feel like it should be automatically implied. When I have a certain amount of money, even broke people are asking for prenups these days. It's just an insurance policy that like, sometimes these things don't work out. We know what the divorce rates are here in America. And if things don't work out, I don't want to have to be losing half my bread or more than that sometimes because he has two children. So if you mix in the alimony with the child support, that could be a hefty price to pay, man. And so it's a protection for self. And like, it doesn't mean I'm going to treat the marriage any differently. I don't really know why women be tripping. Why don't you tell me did you sign a prenup?
I did not. It was something that we talked about though. We did talk about it, but he just never circled back. But I was definitely okay with it.
Now you say okay with it. No. I have questions.
No, I'm saying I would have signed it. it.
No, so no apprehension. Yeah. Do you don't think the conversation implied that he was anticipating the marriage wouldn't work out? You felt like it was okay?
No, and this is why, because literally my husband and I just had this conversation like a couple of weeks ago because we were talking about the Candy Burrs situation. We were talking about maybe why a superstar like Rihanna is not married, right? And so we had this like real deep conversation because society for women who have money, they're like, nah, girl, you need to sign that prenup. You need to protect yourself. And so it's funny because with Dak Prescott, we've never heard any issues with him, especially since he's been in the league, right? He's always had this very squeaky clean image that he seems to try really hard to keep up. And even to the point where like when Jerry Jones didn't want to pay him and was dragging his feet, giving him these franchise tags, people were coming together, like even people that's not Cowboys fans, they was like, no, like you got to pay Dak Prescott because he's been doing something for the Cowboys. People was rooting for him. And so it seems to me like this was a PR relationship, unfortunately. This was somebody that he met, she got pregnant, and then they were like, okay, let's try to make this work to keep the image up.
No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not doing that.
No, I really do. Okay. That's just me. And so they've been trying to keep the image up. It seems as though, they have a 2-year-old, they have a 10-month-old, both daughters, that over the last couple of months, he's been pushing the prenup. But I feel like once you propose, or even before, if that was something that was so serious to you, that should have been a conversation that y'all were having, not months leading up to this wedding. And let me say this, weddings are expensive. And I know his wedding was expensive. And we're talking about a month before, 90% of that wedding was paid for.
That's a drop in the bucket for Dak Prescott. But I want to ask you a question, though. What are some reasons why a woman would not sign a prenup?
So you know what? I was looking at some of the comments on the Twitter post that you sent. And it seems as though maybe people were saying that maybe she wouldn't sign it if there was not an infidelity clause. Like maybe she was countering and saying like, okay, if you keep cheating on me and I decide to leave, then I still walk away with nothing. That's really the only thing, because anything that he made prior to y'all getting married is his legally. Now, if we're talking about once y'all got married in contracts that he signed or deals that he signed, then maybe you can have some of that. But it seems it's like the infidelity clause may be the biggest thing that I'm seeing regarding women, is that that's kind of a loophole where, you dealing with a man that got money. So I need to protect myself and my emotions and my children.
Can I you said a phrase there that stuck out to me, and I hear women and people, women be saying all the time, like like the walk away with nothing thing, right? Have you
Yeah.
not? Are you not walking away with however much time we spent
Child
in all the
support.
love? Are you not walking away with the gifts that I have given you? Are you not walking away with a mind full of memories of things that you probably never would have experienced had I not provided them for you? In addition to our children, like why do you have to walk away with something once our relationship ends? That concept in and of itself to me is extremely flawed. Like we never talk about what a man gets to walk away with after a relationship is over. Why is that such an important thing? Why is that something that a lot of people feel like a woman should have? And I'm not trying to have a gender war right now. I legitimately and seriously am inquiring.
I don't know, but I think legally, maybe the courts are looking at the lifestyle of the children and unfortunately the lifestyle of the wife. So they want the wife and the children to be able to keep the lifestyle up that they had when the man was in the relationship.
But why though? Like I don't get to buy a new car. I don't get to buy a new car and keep the smell and memories of my old vehicle. Like when you move on from things, you should be moving on from them completely. You don't get to just drag your old life into your new life. And now I'm providing you with things, and the concept in and of itself is flawed to me. And I understand the origins of it, right? The genesis of it, which was, for a long time, the women's suffrage movement changed how women were allowed to make money, even open bank accounts, vote. I understand all of that. And I think that we have come to a new place in time, especially with women, where they are making so many advancements in corporate America. And I think statistics will say that, especially in our community, like there's no faster rising group of people in terms of C-suites than black women. And so and I'm not saying that to say that they still don't need help along the way, but what I'm saying is that there clearly has been a change and a shift in the opportunities that women are being provided. And I just want us to have updated laws and an updated perspective legally based on where we are societally. And I'm not even just talking about women, like even on the men's side, like, there are things that are beholden to men because of what patriarchy has done to our society that I also feel like should be thrown by the wayside. Maybe that's a little bit too non-traditional for some people, but I just think some of these things we need to change our perspective around. You don't get to just walk away with millions of dollars because I'm a millionaire and I worked my ass off in middle school, high school, and college. The concept is flawed.
And I think another thing too is, like you just mentioned black women specifically, I feel like I can speak on that, is that, as black women, we do have our own careers as well. And so maybe we get with somebody and now we kind of have to put our careers on the back burner because we're now a wife and a mother and all of the things. And so maybe that goes into some of the rulings with the courts, is because some men want the mother of their children in the home and to
Definitely.
stay at home and to watch the kids and not to go out and work. And so now it's like, if we divorce, now I'm trying to get back out into the workplace. And I feel like I've seen some people talk about that on TikTok, is like the struggle of kind of rebounding after you've not been working for 10, 12 years. Now you've gotten a divorce and you don't have anything to really fall back on. So you hear women say all the time, y'all need to keep y'all money, have a little savings account so that you could fall back on in the event that something goes awry.
That's fair. That's fair. I hear what you're saying. This is hard. It's a hard conversation for me because as a full-time single father who does not get child support and doesn't get any support whatsoever, there's a thing about men who are like, yo, I need you to help me raise our kid. Like that, like there are some people who would look at me quite funny if I were to take my son's mother to court and ask for child support. Even though we're at the finish line, right? And so I think I have so many thoughts and feelings. This might not be the necessary platform for all of it, but these things always make me have questions, and it makes me wonder where we are and where we would like to go with things. If a man has asked a woman though to not work, then 1000% once the relationship is over and he put her in a worse off financial position by not being able to accumulate her own funds and revenue, then yes, he should supplant that loss of income over that time spent, but it shouldn't be in perpetuity. I want to say that.
But no, you're right though regarding the differences. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, there's the way that society looks at stuff. If a man was taking care of the kids and asked the woman, who could be the breadwinner, right? The woman could be the breadwinner. She could have all of the money. If you came into that situation and people think that there's a little bit of gold digging in there from the man, your reputation is shot. People are looking at you like, how dare you do this to this woman? But it's not reciprocated, right? Like it's not the same on the other side of it. And that's the reason why I have to be fair when it comes to talking about prenups. The whole situation about Dak Prescott is really crazy. I know that you said it's a drop in the bucket regarding the trips and the wedding, but still, I mean, there's a lot of planning that goes on. And so y'all been planning this for however long. So for you to just say, yeah, I'm done, it seems like things have been bad.
If you think Dak was out there tasting cake, you tripping. He having a very different experience leading up to his marriage. But I hear what you're saying. I hear you.
Rodney, let me tell you something. I can't wait to see you get married one day. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you saying all this stuff, because I feel like that's kind of how you think you would be. But when the time comes, you're going to be in there tasting cake. You're going to be picking flowers. You're going to be doing all of the things.
Flowers. No. Me, yes.
Flowers are important.
I'm talking about the man who has a $240 million contract. I make this money so that I don't have to worry about these minuscule things. You go taste the lemon ricotta cake and you tell me if it's hitting, if it's busting or not. And if it ain't, then we move on to the red velvet, whatever. But if I'm not getting out my bed to go taste no cake. Anyway, the conversation is a good one. It can go on and on and on. You know, gender wars online is forever a thing that happens. I didn't have gender war conversation and dialogue. I just had questions. That's it. But with that said, y'all let us know your thoughts on Dak Prescott canceling his wedding because his fiancée would not sign a prenup. Do you think that it was good for him to protect himself? Or do you feel like he should have just let her slide because they have children together? And by supporting the mother, he's thereby supporting the kids, which is also another concept here.
Allegedly. But what's not alleged is our newsletter. The link is in our description box. Please click on that. We have all of the latest happenings in sports. Go do that for us. Thank you.